Good afternoon. My name is Caroline Ingui, and I am a school counselor. And I just want to thank all the parents for joining us this evening to talk about a topic that I brought up to our principal a few weeks back. Through some of my individual sessions with some students, I have noticed a huge rise in issues like depression, bullying, and a lot of it seems to be stemming from this huge epidemic of childhood obesity. And so I brought it to the attention of my principal and thought that it could be helpful if I lead a discussion tonight for all of you who might have kids that are struggling with some of these things. So we're going to talk a little bit about health and wellness and what you as parents can be aware of and some things that we're doing here at school, and just to provide you with some resources and ideas for y'all to use at home. So first, here's an introduction to childhood obesity. Childhood obesity is a medical condition where excess body fat negatively affects a child's health and well-being. And school can play a vital role in prevention and intervention. So, how many kids are affected? This is pretty astonishing. According to the CDC, approximately 1 in 5 children and adolescents between ages 2 and 19 are obese. And then what we know is that childhood obesity often leads into adult obesity. There are lots of risks for children who have obesity. They're at a higher risk for type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. And this is also a really surprising statistic. Childhood obesity has tripled since just the 1970s. So here are some of the main problems that are associated with childhood obesity. Physical health risks, mental health risks, which was kind of my reasoning behind wanting to reach out to all of the parents, because I'm seeing a lot of the mental health side of things. There's a lot of social challenges, which I touched on, lots of bullying and body image issues because of bullying. And then it also impacts academics, which is the reason that we are here and at school. And so this epidemic is really bleeding into several areas for our students. So we talked a little bit about some of the medical risks. So again, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes we're seeing, lots of asthma, and then bone and joint issues. So here are some tips that y'all can use in your families at home for helping children maintain a healthy weight. Looking for colorful fruits and vegetables, whole grain breads and cereals, so making sure to check those labels that they mention whole grains. Lean proteins such as chicken and fish, healthy snacks. So this is a big thing that we're seeing, is just the snack choices that kids are making. We have lots of chips and processed foods. So if it has a label on it or can come in a wrapper or trash, if it has something like that, then we want to limit those to special treats and special occasions. Reducing sugary drinks, which here at school, kids are only allowed to bring water. And so just encouraging that they're only bringing water to school. Promoting daily physical activity. The WHO is recommending 60 minutes a day. A lot of kids, as we know, are spending time on devices or electronics instead of getting outside and playing. And then that also can pour over into their sleep. So if they have their devices and they're not put away, or if they're put away and kids are sneaking back out of their rooms at night to get them, they're staying up all hours of the night playing these video games or on social media, things like that. So other suggestions that you as a family can do, modeling an active lifestyle for them. An idea is maybe after dinner, y'all could all go for a family walk. Here in Carrollton, we have the Greenbelt and there's lots of access points from all over our town. And so going for a walk out on the greenbelt, riding bikes, playing games outside, limiting screen time and replacing it with outdoor activities, dancing, even just playing music and dancing around the house. That's an easy way to get energy out and stay active. Encourage kids to help you cook. So instead of going through the drive-thru all the time, making it a family activity to all cook and prepare a meal together. And then the final one is growing a garden. That's something really neat that you could try doing with your family. This is a really affordable option. Even like the Dollar Tree has gardening supplies and seeds, everything that you could need. And then it's teaching kids other sorts of responsibilities as well as getting to eat the food that they are helping grow. Screen time. This is really huge for the generation coming up right now. They're using that as their social outlet. They're making friends on video games and hanging out and talking with them. And we just really want to make sure to limit that. We're seeing tons of effects that are happening other than just obesity. So chances are, if this is a struggle for your child, then there are probably other effects that they're also being impacted by when it comes to screen time. There are active video games, so even if that's something that they enjoy, they make video games where there's games and it involves moving your body. And then maybe limiting your time that they're doing screens to during the week. They're only using it for educational purposes. So here's some different resources and options. We are really fortunate to have tons of different after school programs. We have a running club. We have Little Sisters and Little Brothers Club. We have, starting in 5th grade, students can participate in sports. Everyone is required to take PE, so they're getting introduced to a lot of different sports options at PE. We have several local swimming pools here in Carrollton. And Go Noodle is a website that kids have been exposed to, a lot of them in our lower elementary school, but y'all could pull this up as a family. There are like some different like music videos and things, and it's like telling you what arm to move when, what leg to move when, and you're kind of dancing along with the different characters. Some of what I mentioned seeing in my office with kids is the depression and bullying side of things. So know that if you have a child who is overweight or falls into this category, then they're aware of it and they're going to be struggling emotionally. Because even if it's not being picked on by other kids, there's a level of confidence that they could struggle with. So I would say pretty much the majority of kids that I'm seeing that fall into the obesity category struggle with self-esteem. It's also a really good opportunity to teach comparison and how comparison is such a thief of joy. And so even if your child is struggling with this, not forcing them into feeling like they need to change everything about themselves, because that could have another really negative impact on them. But encouraging like a growth mindset and forming healthy habits. And again, if they see you doing it as a family, so maybe they don't feel isolated and singled out, that could be really helpful. So this is what we're doing here at school. We're teaching about healthy choices, making PE fun, providing healthy lunch options for them. We're encouraging students to love themselves, love one another. And then tonight is just an example of how we're trying to partner with parents to help in this area. So small changes can make a big difference. Every person's special, and just because this is a struggle for your student, doesn't mean it always will be, and that there are things that we can put in place to really help and support them. So thank y'all for joining tonight. I do have a handout that I'll be giving to you. It just has some different resources and tips, and it covers some of the things that we talked about tonight and has a little bit more details about childhood obesity. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or need any further help. Thank you for joining us tonight.